Hey everybody, it's Kneecap here, and in this video I'm going to be taking you through day one of the pre-patch event. Kind of going to be going through it sequentially and also just giving my thoughts on the things as I go through them. This will be from an alliance point of view, but beyond the first starting quest, it's the same for everybody. The introduction is all that's going to be different, video-wise and whatnot. So, first of all, I'd like to say I would highly advise Alliance players, especially, with the turn war mode off for this. There's no, I don't think there's any benefit to having it on as far as extra resources. I know people just like to play with war mode on for you know, the world PvP, but at least as of now, this is extremely hectic, and I do advise for Alliance to turn it off. Horde, obviously, you pick and choose as you like. When you log on, you should get a quest to go to either Stormwind or Orgrimmar and meet with somebody, and then you'll get a cinematic. For Alliance, at least, it's a Bolvar cinematic. I'm not sure what it is for the Horde. This is already a data mine cinematic that I've seen multiple times, so it's not like it's anything new. I imagine it's probably the same cinematic because it shows the leaders of both factions in it, so I imagine it would be the same cinematic there. So next, for Alliance, we're going to go collect reports in Goldshire, then Red Ridge, then Duskwood, and then into Darkshire. This is going to vary for Horde, obviously. Once we get to Darkshire, we're going to kill some Scourge there, and once we help fighting some Scourge there, we're going to head back to town. It always seems like Darkshire is always getting the bad end of the stick. They're always under attack. Horde love to sit there and gank world PvP wise. Darkshire, man, they've gone through some rough times. They always have giant abominations attacking them. Just as someone who played in Vanilla WoW, I think it's time Darkshire gets a break. Maybe they should get some walls or some towers or some upgrades going forward here. Maybe in Shadowlands or post Shadowlands. That'd be nice to see. Once we're done with that, we're going to head back to town. So Horde, whenever they're done, I imagine they head back to their town. And from this point forward, we're pretty much going to be doing the same exact thing regardless of what faction you are. We're going to be heading to the Argent Tournament Grounds in Icecrown. So you want to go to your portal room and take the portal to the old Dalaran, so not Legion Dalaran, but the one from Wrath of Lich King expansion, of course. And then so we're going to fly up to the tournament grounds. Obviously, if you have an engineering thing, you can go to Storm Peaks. If you have other ways to get there faster, go for that. But that's basically what you're going to be doing there. One thing to note is, I don't know if there will be a way to fix it, honestly. Maybe a chromie will be added. But as of now, this will phase you out from doing the dailies at the Argent Tournament, where people farm the mounts and stuff like that. So this will not allow you to do that, but perhaps they will throw a chromie in to allow you to do that if you want to. Once we get to the Argent Tournament Grounds, we're going to kill some more Scourge, heal some allies, turn that in. You might notice if you loot the bodies that you could get some Scourge Stones. These are good to loot because they're going to be able to be turned in repeatable later on. So it won't give you progression towards your quest to do it, because you will get an initial quest to do it, but they are good to loot. So I definitely encourage looting all the bodies while you're doing this. So enemies in Icecrown can drop these Scourge Stones for repeatable quests. I already mentioned all that. Next up, you're going to get a quick scouting quest. Scouting quest meaning you just go look into a telescope and kind of survey the land. And then you're also going to have a quest to go guard a banner, basically establish a foothold. This is very common. It was actually very common in Wrath of Lich King expansion, one of these quests, so it's a little bit fitting. And this is kind of like an event, so you could come through midway. Like the final thing is like a big bone giant you have to kill, I think. So as long as you get there before the bone giant's dead and can get a tag on it, I believe you will complete it. You might even only have to be there. I'm not even sure. You might just have to be in the area to complete it. So it is kind of like a event, and it has a fairly short respawn to start the event back up. After that, turn those in, you're going to get a quest to take control of an undead and do stuff. Now, this was my least favorite quest out of all of them. So you're going to basically use this device, take over an undead, and you have like 4 abilities. One is just like a straight attack that increases damage that the thing with the debuff, the enemy with the debuff takes. There's a plague that's like an AOE attack. There's a speed boost, and then there's a attack that heals yourself. So this is very common in the avatar type quests that are in the game. Very common abilities, except for there's no like big cleave. Usually there's like a big cleave ability as well. So there's none of that. But one thing I'll say is, as of now, I think it was probably just a bug for me, because I had like when this first launched and I was on, there's a lot of lag and a lot of issues. So it could have just been a bug. But don't die. Don't pull too much by yourself and die, because when I did that, I was at like 80% or something, and I died. 80% of the killed enough enemies, and I died, and I wasn't able to get back into the undead avatar, into the Scourge avatar, and I just had to abandon the quest and take it back up again. So I don't think that will be an issue. I think that's probably was just like a bug or just some server lag or something that wasn't letting me do it. But just in case, don't die. Be smart about it. Again, this might help if you have war mode off as well. This one's a bit annoying. If there's too many people there doing it, just maybe try to go to the very end of the area where they can spawn, like run all the way through, because there could be quite a bit of people there. At least there was for me, which made it a bit annoying. You'll also have a quest to kill whelps and then like the summoners around them. That's a really easy, straightforward quest. No issue there. Again, make sure you loot the bodies. They can drop those Scourge Stones. And you'll have at this point, you'll have a quest to turn in Scourge Stones. Which then, after you turn that in, so I think each one fills your bar like 10%. So you need 10 of them essentially. And once you turn that quest in, you'll actually get a repeatable quest where you can turn 25 of each type of Scourge Stone in, and that'll give you more rep and tokens. Speaking of the tokens, that's basically what you're getting for all of these are these Argent Crusade tokens. Pretty much the only rewards is the transmog for it, so it's not great rewards. I think there is a pet. Is there a toy? I can't remember if there's a toy, but it's mostly just transmog stuff. So if you're not into transmog, this is not a great event for you, frankly. And the transmog isn't that great either. So unless you're into collecting, maybe that might not be the biggest thing for you. However, the other stuff could be, and now I gotta be fair. So it's transmog to me, but it could be catch-up gear for certain characters or certain players who just don't play at a high end. I think it's level 100 gear. So and that's post-level squish, of course. So that's not terrible. And so this could be catch-up gear for you, could be catch-up gear for your alts, whatever the case may be. So that is the case too. It's transmog plus catch-up gear. So let's be fair to it there. So every 20 minutes, there's a mini boss that can spawn in Ice Crown during all this. And you can farm these. They can drop gear. They drop a little bit of unique rewards as well. And they can also drop a 34-slot bag. This is like the prized thing. I know Wowhead has a chart up already of the respawn time, because these things spawn in the same order every time. And they spawn every 20 minutes. So it's very predictable and reliable. They spawn the same spots and everything like that. So, again, this is, if you're Alliance, you should probably have war mode off, because frankly, I'll put it this way. This was day one. This was shortly after launch. But there was probably, I don't know, 30 to 40 horde just waiting for 20 minutes. Like, they'd kill the one boss, and then they would wait for 20 minutes at the next spawn, because it's all mapped out already. And they would just sit there and wait, and there was just no chance I was ever going to get anything. So you have a better chance of getting these with war mode off as of now. Maybe they'll make it cross-faction tag. I wouldn't count on that necessarily. But yeah, so you can deal with that however you choose to deal with that. The one that drops the bag, I can't remember his name. It starts with a B, and he spawns just south of the Argent Crusade grounds. And yeah, I just recommend doing all of them, of course, if you get a chance to. But if you specifically want that guy, let's say you just want the bag. Let's say you're like, I just want to know about this stupid bag. I'll just go ahead and put a link to the Wowhead article that shows the spawn times for him, and then you can just get it from there, and that can be a resource for you there. The last thing I'm going to put about day one is I already have the video out, so I just would say go watch the video if you're that interested in it. But Nathaniel Blightcaller is a world boss now, and it has his own cinematic as well at the end. Like, it's one of those when you defeat him, you get a cinematic, so it's similar to like. I know N'Zoth was like that. I can't remember if Ajara was like that too. But it's very common with bosses that there's like a cinematic at the end. Instead of you actually killing them, you get them to like 2%. Or like Jaina, where she runs away. You know, it was very common in BFA, come to think of it. So that is the case again here. So if you're interested in that, I would just say go watch the video. No point in talking about that more because I did a whole video about it because it was kind of a cool thing. And I want to see them do more of that kind of thing where a character's a world boss, or just they use Eastern Plaguelands and just using classic zones for things. I kind of like. So that's it for day one of the pre-patch event. As always, I do ask you to subscribe to the channel because that helps me out so much. And other than that, everybody have a good one.